family, and welcome to another episode of Underground Railroad Radio. This is your host, Brother Rich, and I'm back on the radio. I want to welcome our guest, Dick Gregory. How you doing, brother?
Fantastic and getting better. And I thank you, and I thank you and all the folks at these type of radio shows that people's beginning to wake up. I believe it's too late, but at least they see something other than what we've been told. And a good example of that is Paris.
Right.
I mean, Americans don't know that much about soccer. But soccer is the number one sports game in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Crowds, it draws by the billions.
Mm-hmm.
And so consequently what we're looking at is that was a big game in Paris. It's as big as the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Right.
And so you have people coming in there 3 weeks before the game sitting on cable. You got balloons, huge big balloons to get every shot, every move. And so with all those cables there to send us all over the world, how come we didn't see no pictures? Huh?
Yeah.
And that's the way they dumb you down. It was a time you could put country by country, but with the electronics now, you can do it all over the world. Nobody. And because of radio shows like this, you got people asking the French president, were you there or not? Okay? And that's where the heads are now. How did you get out of this so fast? Huh? You got out before anybody knew what was going on. Huh? How did you look, the French was a country before 1,000 years before America was born, okay? And all the technology we got, they got, okay?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You're going to tell me they couldn't get some punks. Remember, these aren't hard CIA, KGB, Nazis who formed the band. Huh? These are little punky children, man. Now put a period there for a minute. Let's go back 5, 6 years ago, when you wake up in the morning and you hear about some white school is under attack. Well, who's doing it? These are children of mothers and fathers with PhDs. These are A students. These are children from the time they was 2 years old. It was decided which of the best schools in America they would go to. They've never been arrested. They have no jail record. Everybody in school loved them. And you're going to tell me they just get up one morning, go by and pick up his friend Ed, and they go to school and try to kill everybody in the school?
Mm-hmm.
These aren't poor folks. These aren't folks living in broken homes, whatever a broken home is. I still ain't to say Hitler didn't come up in no broken home. You can't have no more family values than the mafia. They didn't come up in no broken home and go to church every day. Huh?
Right.
So all this crap they lay down after. And you think you're going to stop it from doing this for thousands of years. The first word of the Lord's Prayer is what? Let me hear you say it.
Our Father.
Okay, now stop there. Who told you the universal God is a man? Huh?
Right.
Huh? Did God yell down and say, hey, I'm a man? Huh?
No. No.
That's how it works. So we're not just something that's started. Now they got stuff they can give you. You know, if anybody in the studio with you punched yourself, they did not do it after we finished. BBC, it's the British paper, this story broke on their line. Make love, not war. That's the headlines. And it starts off talking about America has almost developed a gas they can spray in the front line and turn everybody into homosexuals. That's a lie. They've had that over 30 years. Okay?
Wow.
All right, but in order for BBC to print it like it haven't been developed yet. Okay? They got a gas they can spray that you turn into a cannibal. And for those of you all in America that's listening, Google Baltimore, Maryland, the black university there, okay, Morgan State. two college students, you know, one turned into a cannibal and started eating the other one. The next day, Miami, Florida, cop walked up, and one guy was eating another guy's heart. And he scared the cop so bad, the cop pumped 13 bullets into him. Okay? This is where we are now. And y'all walk around thinking you know something and trust these dogs. Hey, Hitler has never produced nothing that can equal the CIA or the FBI or French intelligence or British intelligence. But you so messed up into this crap with your hatred. This group hates that group. This group hates that group. Okay? And so that's where we are. So we go back to France. Okay? All at once, the French intelligence and the CIA met 24 hours before this. What did they discuss? How to make barbecue? And then all at once, let me tell you how it works. I'm not ready to close down the economy yet, right?
Right.
So in Boston, we had a marathon bomber, right? All right. Now, the first bomb didn't go off to 2 hours after the front line had finished. You know that, right?
Right.
Okay, now think about that. If I'm a terrorist, I create terrorists, I don't mind dying because I'm trying to terrorize the whole world, right? Now, what would have terrorized the whole world any worse had that bomb went off when the first 500 runners were finishing? It wouldn't have been no marathon nowhere in the world. All of your runners would have been dead or injured, okay? Now, if you really want to mess up something, you go 2 hours before the race starts, and you go like 40 miles outside of Boston where everybody assembles, right? And so you got the family. If I know you and we good friends and you're going to run the marathon, I'm one of the ones that's going to show up. Your family's going to show up. So they're going to be out there. If it's 30,000 people running in the marathon, it's 100,000 people at the start. Why didn't you blow that up, huh? Okay? Why didn't you blow that up? Or are you in the business of not tampering with the money, huh? Why didn't you blow that up? And so consequently, you said. Now, when I heard what had happened, I said to my wife, call Ralph and tell him to move in here quick. That's one of the best researchers on the planet Earth. And ask two things. Tell him to check out MIT and tell him to check out the nuclear plant. Because if I'm head of intelligence and an explosion go off, why wouldn't I think it could be a decoy to go 30 to 68 miles down the road and blow up the Plymouth nuclear plant, right? So he gets back to me. He said, I called my friend in Paris, and he said, you got something. The run was on Monday. The nuclear plant was closed down on Saturday. Did somebody know something? Huh? Did somebody know something? And so now you got the explosion, and everybody panicked. All the networks is there, people flying focus. And one thing that came out of the French thing was white supremacy. White folks don't even understand white supremacy, okay? White supremacy. Do you realize within 12 hours, white countries around the world was moving their flags to half-mast? Did you watch TV that night when they was changing the lights in your major cities around the world? 400 Africans got killed in Africa when they blew up the shopping mall. Ain't nobody moved the flags, okay?
Right.
Okay? These are people sympathizing with white folks, huh? All right? I mean, think about that, man, because that's very important, huh? And so consequently, what we're looking at now, let's go back to France. Out of all the places that people come from all over the world to go in France, to good restaurants, there were no good Thai restaurants. I said, what y'all do to make the Thais mad? Gave them some bad noodles or something? Now, just think about this, man. Common sense. In the stadium, there was 80,000 people in the stadium, right?
Mm-hmm.
How long do it take for you to bring 80,000 people through doors and get their tickets and let them in? Huh? Mm-hmm. So are you telling me with the long line, if I'm a bummer and I got these big guns, how am I gonna get in the stadium? I can kill more people outside the stadium than inside the stadium, because there's only X amount of doors they can go through. Okay? Mm-hmm. How come they didn't do that? Huh? How come I'm sitting here talking more like a terrorist than a terrorist? Huh?
Right.
I mean, think about it. Then they got a concert going on with 15,000 people. Huh? The soccer game had 80,000. 90% of the people that was killed and all of them put together was at the concert. How do you kill more people at a concert with 15,000 people than you kill at the soccer stadium with 80,000? Well, no, they couldn't get in, but you kill them as they come. 80,000 people just didn't show up. And here's the big trick. That soccer game had to be sent around the world. Big money. All the people watch soccer, right? And those are two big teams. France, hello, and Germany, hello. Now, you know how many cables you have to put up at the soccer stadium to be able to send that around the world? You know how many satellites you have to hook up? You know how many bodies have to be there a month before the game to put it together and check it to make sure it's working right, huh? How many tests they got to do? And you mean with all of that equipment there, we didn't see one act of terrorism? We saw them running.
Right.
But we didn't see one act of terrorism. Nobody showed us the French president going in. Can you imagine the president of the United States going to a Super Bowl game and all the networks are filming him coming in? You mean ain't nobody got pictures of the president of France coming in? How did he get in, huh? And so when you stop to think about it, this is a World War plan. And it ain't no accident that Napoleon saved today's France tomorrow the world. Hitler said it. They're talking about world domination. One world government, okay? In Islam, wait, can we be suckers enough to believe that ISIS, I mean, think about this now. ISIS, we got trillions of dollars worth of satellites up there in the sky. We didn't see this conk putting together an army, huh? Up there, they can look at a hair on a gnat's left leg, huh?
Right.
And isn't it an accident every time we overrun ISIS lines? That's American weapons he has. They say some of them still got the tags on. Huh? Now, the one thing the military train all over the world, if somebody overrun your lines before you get out of there, blow up all the equipment, right?
Right.
When them tanks is running, I'm like, they ain't never blew up a tank, huh? That's us and our delivery system. ISIS was trained by General Petraeus at what everybody thought was a prison right outside of Iraq. It was where they was training them. So what could this be? Let's just think about it. Yeah. What could this be? Well, when I was in these days, asking against the strike, but the hostages, which was CIA. And so I'm saying, wait a minute. So I get to looking and talking to Iranians, and my book's been over there for 40 years. Nigga, in Iran, in Farsi. And so everybody was coming by the hotel, say hello, read his book, and then we started talking. In the Islamic world, billions of people. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Did you know the average age in the Muslim countries is 17 years of age? Did you hear me?
17, you said.
Did you hear me?
Wow.
Now, at 17 years of age, how many babies, just make like you know, how many babies is produced every year, okay? Now, don't give me a number. Let's make like you just said the amount, because they know how many. Huh? Now, multiply that by 1,000 years. Huh? And Christianity says, wow, we'll be swallowed up. What happened if 30 billion roaches come into your house? Huh? Okay? They control it.
Right.
So somebody made a decision, let's take them down now. Huh? So how did you do that? You keep making non-Muslims frightening, scary, and make people start hating them. And then one day they blow up something like the Vatican. The same day they blow up a wealthy school and kill 300 people in it. They blow up the Super Bowl, and kill everybody in it. The world is so outraged, them planes will take off and start dropping bombs, and when they finish, the whole Islamic world is wiped out. And then 6 months later, you have people saying, oh, we're sorry. It's hard to believe we could do that. You ain't never apologized for a nuclear bomb you dropped on the Japanese. The Germans was posing you a greater threat than the Japanese. You ain't dropped that bomb on white folks, huh? Okay? When South Africa was run by white folks, everybody knew South Africa had a nuclear bomb. Now when the black folks gonna take over, they don't even talk about where the nuclear bomb is. Where did the nuclear bomb go? Huh?
Right.
And nobody asked. Where did it go? Oh, the Israel guy. Everybody want to blame everything on Israel. Let's look at Israel for a minute, okay? When I was a little boy, one of the big networks in Hollywood, 20th Century Fox, Metro Golden Mass, right? That was Jewish. They owned it. But they couldn't use a Jew, hear me, as a leading man, okay? New York City. They said, oh, they got more Jews there than any place. Well, the first Jews they permitted to move on Park Avenue was Barbra Streisand. Huh? What about all those years Jews lived in New York with money? Huh? So we put all that, a Jew killed Christ. Wait a minute. The Romans killed Christ, fool. I mean, if you raping somebody and I'm holding them, you going to jail for rape. They're going to get me for something else, but it ain't going to be rape.
Right.
Okay? So that's the game they play. Right there in New York. How far are you out of New York City?
I'm in Harlem, uptown, Manhattan.
Now watch this. In New York City, okay, one of the most powerful Jews on the planet is in the state legislature, okay? They arrested him early this year, right? You remember?
Yeah.
They bring him out with handcuffs on, right? And they said, we don't know how we'll be able to try him because 98% of all the judges, he had something to do with putting them on the bench, right?
Yeah.
So he makes $200 million a year, okay? Now, hear what I'm saying. You read that in your New York papers, right? You haven't heard the Anti-Defamation League mention that one time. Hear me now. Huh? Now, let's go back 2 weeks before last Christmas. Piers and Roebuck had to apologize to the Jewish community because their little Christmas package they put out aimed at Jews, the ring that you wear on your index finger, had a swastika on it. Did
Right.
you know that?
Yeah, I remember we talked about that, right.
Okay, no, we didn't ask you. Did you hear the Anti-Defamation League complaining?
No.
Okay, now think about this. See, they got you believing that you've got all this kind of power, huh? Think about this, huh? Now, watch this here. A week after that, on a Monday, Walgreens had to apologize because a woman bought the Hanukkah wrapping paper, and just looking at it, she saw all these swastikas on it. They had to talk. Have you heard the Anti-Defamation League complain about that?
No.
So where's the power, huh? Where's the power, huh? It's a game they play, huh? And so consequently now, let's go back and look at the Pope. Man, I told my wife to move everything around. I didn't want to do nothing while the Pope was here, because you're going to see white supremacy at its best.
Oh, yeah?
Did you watch it? Did you see any white women in his entourage? Did you? Huh? Huh?
No.
Did you see any young white men in his entourage? Huh? So if I got to tell somebody as hip as you, what do you think my grandmother? Huh? What do you think all these stupid people that don't know they stupid? Huh? Here's a Pope come here. He could barely walk. Sciatica. So why I want him to wash my feet? What, he going to heal me when he can't heal himself? Huh? Our welfare mother going to pay my rent, and she's being evicted, huh?
Right.
All right, this is a game, man. What did Adam say? God made Adam. That's what the story said, right? First person, right?
Yeah.
And then Adam said to God, I need a helpmate. I am lonely, right?
Right.
And God didn't say, how in the hell can you be lonely, chump, when I ain't made nobody but you? I made everything on the planet, in the universe. It ain't but one of you. How you know lonely, punk, huh? See how easy it is?
Right, right.
See how easy it is?
Mm-hmm.
My mother told me that Santa Claus was a white boy, and my mama buying the toys. That's the crap that raised me, huh? See?
Mm-hmm.
When you tell your black children you got to be twice as smart as a white person, children don't hear what you mean, they hear what you say.
Right.
What you say. So they hear you telling them that they are stupid. Huh? I don't believe you're going to tell me I need twice as much money to buy that house as a white person, and I'm a 3-year-old child. Wait a minute. I think what you told me don't even sound right. Okay? When you, as my daddy, tell me there's some nigger-hating cops out there that will blow you away just because you're a black man. I don't hear what you're saying. I'm thinking about this is my dad, who I've been with since day one, told me that there's some cops out there that will kill me. Huh? Well, when I hear that come from you and you tell me to respect and behave them, you make me think something's wrong with me. Huh?
Right, right.
So you mess my head up so bad, I start running when I see a cop. Huh?
Yeah.
It's a game, man. That's a play.
Let me ask you, Dick Gregory. The name Syria keeps coming up. They said they found the passport of one of the alleged suicide bombers was from Syria. We heard Syria.
Yeah. Let me stop you. Let's go back to September the 11th, right? Didn't they say one of them bombers that crashed into the business, they found his driver's license and didn't have one scratch on it? Huh?
Yeah.
Okay? So why you telling me this here without saying, let me tell you a coincidence, huh? Because my grandmother can put them dots together, huh? All right? You don't need to trust on some thug CIA, FBI, New York police. And the New York police will make Hitler's Nazi army look like a picnic for 5-year-olds, right?
Right.
And y'all live there talking about the Big Apple this. Let me tell you about your Big Apple. Then we'll get back to what you said. Anytime Al Sharpton is probably the most powerful black person in America. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
First, nobody knew how witty and clever he was, how smart he was, until he ran for president. And then white folk got to see his wit, his cleverness, huh?
Mm-hmm.
So then they started embracing him. He get his own show on a white network 5 days a week. He's on a black radio network, Radio 1, 5 days a week. Why wouldn't he be the most powerful Negro? Because he's a preacher for all the old black folks, right?
Right.
Anytime somebody gets shot in New York, they call Brother Al. And Al come out talking crazy, cussing them out. Bah, 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 bah. Huh? Brother Al. Then the Pope comes to New York, the most powerful man on the planet, the way white folk count, okay?
Mm-hmm.
The only place he go on his trip that's black is Harlem, to that black school, right?
Right.
Did Al get invited? No. Huh? That don't bother Al. They flunking him out when they need to use him. And that's what's wrong with getting a person with no education, because they can train them. If you didn't finish Harvard, Yale, or MIT, or Columbia, you ain't real. Huh? So he has that stigma. He didn't open up his mouth. Why are you slighting me? Huh? Why do y'all bring me out when it comes time to cover up your bullshit? But when it comes time, huh? All right, now let's look at something else. Al didn't open his mouth. Huh?
Mm-hmm.
Now a black cop gets killed in New York, huh?
Right.
The family want Al to speak at the funeral. Did you know that?
Yeah.
The police said no. Huh? Here, I'm dead. You my daddy. You want me to speak at the funeral. And a white police officer tell you no, and Al didn't open up his mouth. Who is Al? How? Who is this black man that cannot be insulted by white folks? Huh? All of his friends, the mayor was there. Huh? That's all I'm saying, man. And then we go back. What's your birthday?
September 17th.
Okay, September. You didn't say 9/17, did you?
No.
In America, we don't use a number for the month. October the 12th. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Halloween, October 31. Why do we use a number for September the 9th? Because that number tells your brain to be scared. Okay?
Right.
All right?
Okay.
If you walk in the house and your mother, your daughter, your wife is on the phone, and you just say, who you talking to? So I just dialed 911. Think about the look that comes over your face. Huh?
You get scared automatically. Right.
Well, that's what they did.
Right.
That's what they did. That's how clever they are. That's how much research they do. Huh?
Mm-hmm.
Now, let's look at the plane that hit the World Trade Building, right?
Right.
None of them was pilots. You know that, right?
Right.
None of them have ever flown a plane before, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay? They went to this school in Florida where they learned how to work the simulator, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, you tell me all you need to do is go there, learn how, and then you can hit. Now, do you know when you travel 700 miles an hour, do you realize the World Trade Building look like a toothpick to you?
Right, yeah.
Now, how did they hit it on the first strike? Huh? How did they not miss? Now, let's go back to the school they went to in Florida. Huh? You know who owns that school?
Who?
Warren Buffett. And so what I'm saying is, and so when you stop and think about the word nigger, huh? Who told us that we're going to change that to the N-word? One of the great minds in the history of this planet that we know about was Mark Twain. Let me tell you how clever Mark Twain was. When black folk didn't have a first name, we was cotton peas niggas, okay?
Mm-hmm.
We were the name of the slave master, okay? Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So, Mark Twain was so clever, he said, watch this here. I'm going to give black folks a first name, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So, Huck Finn, okay? Nigga Jim, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Okay, now, nigga, that's Hucklepee's nigga, that's so-and-so's nigga, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he knew as long as I put word nigga in the front, nobody would get upset about Jim. That's the first time black folks in America had a first name in Huck Finn.
Mm-hmm.
And if you read the book, you wasn't looking to a slave talking to a white boy. It was two human beings. That's how clever Mark Twain was. Huh?
Mm-hmm.
Now, you're going to tell me when I talk about Mark Twain, I got to say N-word? If you was in Russia now and you're 14 years old and you heard something happen because a white boy called a black person a nigger and you see N-word, so as a Russian, you don't know what it is. So you go to the book and you find out N-word is the fourth letter in the English alphabet, the N, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine somebody telling the Jews you can't use the word concentration camp no more? It have to be the C word. You just destroyed history, punk. Huh?
Right.
What happened to us was real. Huh? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying now. This is how messed up it is, right? This is how messed up it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so this is where we are. Huh? This is the game they play. And so what you're looking at now is part of it. Go back to the driver's license. Go back to the passport. Go back to the visa. How they get that? Listen, the one they said came from was a suicide bomber. You mean he's in little pieces? He's in little pieces? I'd like to know more material they made. I'm going to get me 4 suits made out of it. Huh? And so now when you look at the Eiffel Tower wasn't touched,
Mm-hmm.
the same plan here. How can you prove to me that little white boy blew up the church in South Carolina? How can you prove that to me? Do it upset you when you find there's a lot of folks out here, including me, say it never happened? Does that bother you? You ain't seen no bodies, huh?
Yeah.
The same thing happened there, happened in Paris. No blood. How do 9 people get massacred in a little church basement and they clean up the blood? It happened on Wednesday. They clean up the blood so you can have church service on Sunday. That ain't even enough time for forensics to come in there and look at the blood to find out if it was more than one person.
Mm.
Did you see the funeral?
No, I didn't see that, no.
They had one, the preacher. Are you aware that his preacher and his 5-year-old daughter was in the church? They was in the office. Did you know that's the church where Juneteenth was invented?
Right.
That's a 3-day festivity for the folks that don't know about Juneteenth. It starts the 15th, 16th, and 17th. How does that white boy know that if he hit him on the 17th, that's the last festivity of Juneteenth, huh?
Mm-hmm.
All right? Bill and Mark Brown, 2 of the greatest revolutionaries at that time. Somebody snitched and said what they was about to do, and they lined 16 of them up a block from the church and gunned them down like they was dogs. The only one they didn't shoot was Morris Brown. He ends up having a black college named after him. Was he the snitch? Huh?
Mm-hmm.
And then, in Charleston, South Carolina, the white state legislator passed a law that no black church in Charleston, South Carolina, could have a church meeting without two white men, one or two white men being there. And if you did, it's a felony, and everybody there can be arrested. That lasted for over 50 years. Okay? All right? Yeah. You got a computer in the office there with you?
Right, yeah, I do, yeah.
Is there anybody there with you?
No.
Okay. Well, at some time, if you have time in between while we're talking, punch up. This never ran in American paper. Okay? Punch up BBC's story that ran on June the 20th. Now, the 17th was the massacre. 18th and 19th, that's 2 days later. On the 19th, the Justice Department fast-tracked a $29 million check for the families of the victims. Okay? That's $3.2 million per person. The biggest story that was running was the church.
Right.
Okay? That never ran in America.
No.
At some point, when you let your computer punch that up, that's hard to believe. Huh? That's hard to believe. What was that hush money for? Yeah. You know how long it takes the federal government to write a check? The massacre happened on the 17th, 2 days later. That means the check had to have been ready a month before that. Okay?
Right.
And not one American paper ran it. Not one ran it. So when you stop and think about how it works, how you create worldwide fear. Worldwide fear. And so that's what we're looking at.
Well, what do you think about the I mean, there's got to be. I think they said over 100 protests all over campuses all over the country. I first heard about the University of Missouri and what the I guess the football team did. And they went on and they refused to play. And then I just hear it's happening all over the country, like Columbia University in New York. I mean, everywhere. What do you think about that?
Would you be surprised if a Jew told you that at the University of Germany, when they was there, they was being killed? Come on, man, stop being crazy with me. Huh? You think Harvard ain't a racist college just because they put a black president in or brown? Are you out your butt? You think New York City is not a racist police department just because they got black folks and Hispanics? Huh?
Mm-hmm.
You hear what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But here's the question that we need answered. It's happening all over, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now let's watch it. The brother that did the fast, right?
Mm-hmm.
Have anybody told you his daddy is a big executive official with Union Pacific Railroad?
Right, he's they had a story on that. He's the son of a millionaire.
Okay, have they told you the biggest stockholder in Union Pacific is Warren Buffett? Huh?
No.
The same person where them punks went to learn how to work the simulators? Huh? See how it works?
Yeah.
Has anybody ever told you who's paying for them demonstrations? Anybody ever told you who's paying for Black Lives Matter? It's George Soros, who's a close friend of Warren Buffett.
Uh-huh.
He's the one that financed Black Lives Matter. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Huh? Now you see why it was on the front page of Time magazine 3 weeks in a row? Huh? If the Jews in Nazi Germany said Jewish lives matter, you know how insulting it is for somebody to say all lives matter? We're not talking about that. Huh?
Yeah.
Did you see when the white boy committed suicide, but before he died, he said it was 2 Mexicans and a black person in New York, in Illinois? Okay, now, have you heard any of these racist radio stations say, well, I wonder what happened for that week when they was looking for 2 Mexicans and black? I wonder how many of them got jacked up, huh? Because black lives don't matter to them, huh? Black lives don't matter to them. They crime over a dog getting hit, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
When that white boy went into Africa and killed that damn tiger or lion, huh? Oh, they was talking about getting expediting. Oh, huh? And somebody got to tell you that black lives matter? Okay? Now let's look at University of Missouri. Okay? I couldn't go there when I finished from the high school because Negroes couldn't get into the school. Okay? I was the third fastest half miler in the nation. I was the first black to win a cross-country championship in the history of America. State. I was the first black to run the mile below the high school mile record time. Didn't get credit because I was at the Negro school. Huh? But if you go to college, you know the most racist person at the college. It might be 3 that's not in the whole country. Is the white football coach. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
And you know why?
Why?
Because he ain't never dealt with niggas with them kind of attitude. Them niggas left high school on top. Huh? So they talk to this white boy like he a well, what you talking about, honky? Huh? Or you as ugly as your mama and nothing he can do with that when you out running God with a football. Huh? So now go back and hear what this white coach said at Columbia, right? He didn't say I joined the football players because racism is running rampant. Did you know he never mentioned the word racism? Did you know he never mentioned the protesters? Did you know that? Did you know the only thing he said is, I joined the bars because I didn't want that young black boy to die who was fasting? Huh? Huh? That's all he said. He did not say that he was joining because racism has to stop, huh? Okay? So when we send our people in there, huh? We find out the big boys that run the school wanted them 2 white punks to get out of there because they was going against certain things they wanted done. So that's what got them out, huh?
Okay.
Have they ran the demonstration anymore? They played Brigham Young, huh? Have they told you who won the game?
No.
Okay. Don't that bother you?
Yeah.
No. Look at the game. Didn't they play the week before?
Yeah.
So where did the spirit come from? 2 days later.
Right, yeah.
Okay. Now they got to pay Friday. If they hadn't changed, they'd have to pay Brigham Young $1 million certified check on Friday for canceling the game. Huh? Okay?
Yeah.
Missouri last year from their home games made $78 million. Huh?
Wow.
Okay. So that all left the trick. George Sauer and all them folks, huh? It's just a game. And I had my people there at the University of Missouri In Colombia, because I thought they might have blown up the football stadium. They got everybody thinking about the soccer stadium. Soccer stadium wasn't blown up. The next day, that's what I was thinking. They might be getting ready now to blow up the Super Bowl. Huh? Okay, that's how it works. Then everything goes crazy, huh?
Right.
The day before, 2 days before they do it, they supposed to kill the ISIS guy who beheading everybody. Oh, come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. You mean he's stupid enough not to know, and they say we're picking up the chatter. Oh, you mean I'm stupid enough to tie up the mightiest nations on the planet, but dumb enough to get on a line, that I couldn't have used it had y'all not put satellites up there and chatter about what I'm fixing to do? Come on, y'all. Huh?
Right.
And so that's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about. When have you ever known a mighty athlete to ever shut something down? A black, huh? They ain't never done nothing else after school. Huh? And so that's all I'm saying. This is how it works. And thank God they're not going to be able to win it.
Well, yeah, George Soros. That name keep coming up. George Soros and Warren Buffett. Wow.
Were you able to find that BBC story?
No, I typed it. I typed it in. I didn't see it. June 20th. I didn't. Nothing came up. And,
No. June the 9th. Yeah, no, you just June the 19th. June the 19th. The Justice Department fast tracked a $29 million check to the folks, and not one of them's been interviewed. What do you think about the $2.5 million?
Okay, it's coming up now. Government fast track $29 million to Charleston. I see it now.
Now wait, stop right there. How? The biggest story on the planet. 2 days after the killing, the Justice Department takes them a $29 million check, which is $2.5 million per person. Huh?
Wow.
Huh? All right? And no American heard about it because it hadn't ran on no American newspaper, not even the newspaper in St. Louis. Now see how it works? So that's how it works, man.
You always coming through, Dick Gregory. But yeah.
When you stop buying into the hype. When you stop buying into the hype, then the universal God talks to you. Have you ever heard of, how much time we got?
We got about 5 minutes.
Have you ever heard of the mother tongue? That's when you was in your mother's belly, you all talk to one another. It's called the mother tongue, not the father tongue. The mother tongue. So if I come to New York today and we go to a Chinese restaurant, they take our order in English, right? But while they're waiting on the order, they talk to each other in Chinese, right?
Right.
You go to where Italians work, they talk Italian to one another. Japanese talk Japanese. So we have been trained to don't talk your talk because you won't get a job. Talk like white folks. We're the only race of people on the planet that don't talk the mother tongue. That's where the message comes from the universe. Because we wanted a job. And so we gave that up because we didn't really know what the mother tongue was. Okay? And so consequently, the most powerful crowd drawer, the Nation of Islam's March, Million Man March, I'm the one gave them the numbers. It was 1.9 million black men. Okay? 1.9 million black men. I got that from Naval Intelligence.
Mhm.
All right? Nobody. The March on Washington was 300,000. So this march the other day,
Mhm.
was huge. It wasn't equal to the... So here comes this brilliant mind, Nation of Islam, right?
Mhm.
Now, the first march, do you know 90% of those black folks was not members of the Nation of Islam? The voice that came out of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad went across the country, and we liked what we were hearing, even though we'd been taught to be scared of it, right?
Mhm.
Okay? We liked what we were hearing. Okay? And so, consequently, that first march, Washington D.C. police made 2 arrests in the whole city. Did you hear me?
Yeah.
In the whole city. One of them was an ignorant white boy that went to a payphone on 14th and U and called in a bomb threat, and he was so dumb, they kept him on the phone long enough for the police to go in and arrest him while he was still talking. The second arrest was a Korean selling hot dogs without a permit.
Mhm.
I took my sons through the crowd. 80% of the crowd stepped in the park. They didn't have no money to go to no hotel.
Mhm.
And when they gathered, I walked through the park and said, let me know if you can smell any reefer. 90% was non-Muslims, reefer smokers, cocaine snorters, heroin addicts. They didn't need none there because it was something in the crowd changed my spirit, okay?
Mhm.
That's who we looked at. In the second one, the other week, how can a man is brilliant, is brilliant, is that brother who leads the Nation of Islam have such disrespect for me to ask me to boycott Christmas? Who gonna ask me to boycott Christmas 2 months before Christmas, boy? The toys is already bought. I put plans for one of the layaway plans. If I was buying my wife a Rolls Royce, I'd have bought you in June. What kind of craziness is this? Why is it you the most powerful? They listen to you. But if you want to be, because you haven't been recognized by white folks, you talk silly, all you had to do you realize, man, if I spend my money to buy my children Christmas and you just embarrass me, do you have any kind of respect for me at all? How come you didn't call for a boycott next year? They give us a year. How come? Do you realize all the people that have no money to get no toys, you to help them? Because people believe I didn't get that bicycle for my child because we boycott. Do you know how much Christmas paper they sell, wrapping paper they sell? Do you realize how many billions of dollars just for stuff to wrap the gift?
Yeah.
Okay. 40,000 people. Those folks that deliver stuff. They brought on you to work Christmas. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. How can you be that brilliant, and yet that stupid? Ain't nowhere in the world that brother gonna disrespect black folks. It don't make no difference why you do it. All them black women out working all week, and every weekend they got to stop by some old trashy department store and give you my payment on the toys and stuff I put away on the layaway plan. You charge me storage, you charge me extra, and I'm already bought them. They're already home. When the children go to sleep, I'm going to wrap them. And so, again, I'm saying that somewhere, and so again, I say thank you, my brother. If we decide to boycott Christmas next year like he asked this year, if you're a turkey farmer, most of the turkeys come out of Oregon. They ain't even seen the black folk get hit by cops.
Mm-hmm.
So when you start affecting people that claim they didn't have nothing to do with it, then who becomes the enemy? You or the cops?
Mm-hmm.
And when my man, the movie producer, Terrence, what's his name? Django Unchained.
Tarantino.
When he said all of them are murderers. These black preachers came out and said, how did you say that? He said, because he's white. Huh? He said, I grew up in St. Louis. The black prostitute in Baltimore, remember?
Mm-hmm.
And they said she came from a long line of police family, remember?
Right, yeah.
Her daddy was a cop. His daddy was a cop. Her daddy's two brothers was cops. Her mother was a cop. You heard that, right?
Mm-hmm.
You didn't hear him say all of them got busted for shaking down Negroes in the black community in Boston. You didn't hear that, did you?
No.
And all of them got put off the force. Huh?
Wow. Yeah.
And then she came in and she indicted 6 people, remember?
Yeah, yeah.
3 blacks and 3 whites. Did you see any black cops out there kicking them?
No, I didn't know. Not one. No.
So, did you ask the question, where did those Negroes come from? Now, all over the world, you can't call it a racial incident because you had 3 white cops and 3 black cops. Huh?
Wow.
And didn't you see the police chief got fired?
Yeah.
Didn't you see the man say she ain't going to run for a second term?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I'm sure I told you off the record they had pictures, right? The white cops?
Yeah, you told me.
All right. That's how they had to shut down them pictures they showed me.
Mm.
Okay? So that's what it's about. And so again, I just say thanks to you and the family. And it's always a pleasure. I mean, my wife, she called me. She said, Greg. It's your friend from New York. Okay. It's one of the few things she don't have to clear with me to say, okay. She just do that to make me feel good.
Right. Well, yeah, we thank you. Yeah, we appreciate it as always, Dick Gregory. I'm glad you came with the information as usual, and I'm glad you teaching us how to think for ourselves and teaching us how to connect the dots when we see something on television.
Yeah, have you had Alton Maddox on the show?
No, I haven't had Alton Maddox yet. No.
One of the fine minds.
Mm-hmm.
We knew Alton wasn't going to get invited to be with the Pope, but we didn't think he would do Al like that.
Yeah.
So if you call my wife and get Maddox's number, you need to have him on the show. For the fine mind, man. Okay,
definitely. I'll definitely do that.
A fine mind. Just so I told you, they call and book a date for us. You in for a treat.
All right. I appreciate that, Brother Dick Gregory.
All right, babe. Thank you much.
All right. Take care.
Okay, fine.